Good morning, everyone. I have gotten myself some OBS software. Sorry for the smoke in your face. Um, and now I'm going to play with it. So I found this interview, or I guess it turns into an argument between a woman that calls herself the Fat Doctor, aka Natasha Laramie on TikTok, uh, and a man who is a diet guru, somebody Miller, I guess. I don't know. I forgot to look his name up. Anyway, uh, here we go, I think. Wait, there's the button. I had it right the first time.
Now then, after a university professor suggested children needed more overweight heroes like rotund schoolboy Billy Bunter, we are asking,
Why can we not see Billy Bunter's little facey face? Or his little rotundiness? Okay.
if children really do need larger fictional characters to look up to.
Well, we're joined now by Dr. Natasha Laramie, who labels herself as the Fat Doctor and believes there should be more diverse characters taught in schools, alongside weight loss guru Steve Miller. And welcome to you both. Thank you for joining us here today. So Professor Graham Davis, he said that children should be taught in schools.
What about Fat Albert and Nell Carter?
About the larger children's fictional characters because children need fat heroes. He said that leading characters in modern children's literature, such as boy wizard Harry Potter and teenage spy Alex Rider, tend to be overly successful. It's interesting, Natasha, because when you sort of look
Harry Potter wasn't obese.
back to that character in particular, there was a lot of fat shaming around that character. He was called Fat Owl, Fat Head. But despite all of this, you believe that things like this should be on the curriculum?
Absolutely, because I think what we'll be able to do is open up a conversation about weight stigma and about fat shaming. I truly believe that children need as diverse a range of characters in books and to look up to as possible. And weight stigma is something that affects us from childhood and carries on all the way through our lives. It affects all sorts of things. Our wages, people who are overweight tend to have a lower wage, they tend to have fewer career opportunities.
People who are overweight, now I am only speaking for myself as a former morbidly obese person, but people who are overweight don't tend to be active or motivated enough to reach for jobs with higher wages or in better positions.
They have poorer access to healthcare.
A lot of obese people don't want to hear you need to lose weight, so they don't go see a doctor or they doctor shop. They don't have poorer access to healthcare in the United Kingdom.
So, the kind of things that you experience when you're a child can carry you through for the rest of your life. So I think it's a fantastic thing to not...
That is true. That is true. Being brutally bullied by your peers does carry over, but you can get over that.
Only have a kind of a larger character for children to look up to and to read about at school, but also to start talking about body diversity and how it's so important for people to realize that everybody is a good body.
So,
no, not everybody is a good body. Some bodies are born defective. Some bodies are born ill. Every human being has the capacity to be a good human being, but not everybody is a good body.
With that in mind, Natasha, would this character be attempting to lose weight, or would everyone be accepting the fact that they were a larger character and it really didn't matter about future health issues?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting topic, isn't it? This idea that weight loss is a good thing. Actually, most of the evidence out there shows that weight loss is actually not good for our health.
That's not the question that he asked, honey. He asked, would the character be trying to lose weight, or would they be accepted and the future health risks that their obesity be ignored? That is the question he asked. Let's see how she answers it. Sorry for interrupting.
In fact, if you want to pretty much guarantee that you're going to be heavier 5 years from now, the best thing that you can do is go on a diet, because that's actually the greatest.
What? No. No. Going on a diet, going on a fad diet, going on some random magazine diet, yeah, you're probably going to gain weight after you've finished that in a month or two and been dissatisfied and just binge yourself stupid. Yeah, you'll probably gain weight. But if you change your lifestyle and stop eating garbage, you won't be heavy again in 5 years. It has been 19 years since I have been classified as even overweight. If I can do it, anyone can.
Predictor of weight gain is going on a diet. The weight loss industry is going to try and convince you that I'm wrong, because they don't want to acknowledge the fact that actually most people, when they go on a diet,
No. And the weight loss industry is going to convince everybody that she's wrong because they want your money. That is the weight loss industry's motivation.
actually end up gaining weight over 5 years. So in the first year, absolutely, you can lose weight, but within 5 years, you tend to gain it back.
Because you lose motivation, because you're unhappy, because you don't have anything to fill your void. You lose your weight and you stop living the lifestyle. You stop restricting. You go back to your regular garbage intake of fast food and frozen poop.
Again, and that's how the weight loss industry operates. That's where they make their money, because you lose weight and then you gain it back, and then you have to go to another weight loss program
Well,
or buy
I think you've
She's not wrong about that. But her motivations are off.
You've lit the blue touch paper as far as Steve is concerned. All right, Steve, you've heard what Natasha has to say. It sounds like there's no point trying to lose weight anyway, because it won't happen.
Well, there's a couple of things, right? So the first one with characters and heroes of any size, shape, color, creed, nationality, gender, whatever. Of course, it's important to celebrate diversity. I agree with that. What I'm not in favor of is to glorify obesity to children as a normal way of being. Now, because that is obviously dangerous.
He is not incorrect. And why was she?
What I'm kind of concerned about, and I'm subtly kind of confused, is we have a doctor that's telling the nation today that actually you don't need to lose weight and you can.
What is this smug nodding that you're doing, Natasha, dear? Why are you so proud of yourself? You didn't answer the question. You just interjected about your thoughts about diet culture.
And be healthy. Now that really concerns me because of all the obvious things that we know being too fat, obese leads to. We also know in the current situation that obesity, I've got the figures actually, where are they? I've got the figures. Obesity, if you get COVID, you are much more likely to be hospitalized if you are obese.
Why are you smiling? Why are you laughing? What fucking drugs are you on?
And you are much more likely to die if you're on a ventilator in hospital with COVID. And it's all right you nodding your head there, doctor.
Like a fucking
And it's
child.
interesting you call yourself the fat doctor. I mean, I'm just can't understand. It's like you're promoting fat. It's like the fat acceptance army. I mean, I'm so maybe it's me being a bit slow, but you're going to have to explain to me why you feel it's actually a good thing to be fat.
Well, and Natasha, I think you should answer that. I mean, you've actually gone further to say that opinions like Steve are discriminating.
Absolutely. I think there's lots of things we have to understand here. First of all, health is not just physical. Okay, health it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual. And the second thing that we have to appreciate is that health is a privilege that you're born into. It is not an achievement from losing weight by diet and exercise. And
Health is not. It's not a privilege you're born into. This whole being born into privilege thing always messes me up. Nobody can help how they're born. No amount of surgery can change how you're born. And not that many children are born obese.
And I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to explain that. So basically, what all of the evidence shows is that when you're born into an affluent home, when you're born white, when you're born male, when you're born able-bodied, when you're born cisgender or heterosexual, all of those things mean that you are more privileged and you're...
I'm not gonna.
Health will automatically be better, irrespective.
No. Your health will not automatically be better if you're born with all of this male, white, moneyness.
And that's unfortunately difficult for people like Steve because, of course, Steve likes to blame the individual and say that weight loss is something that we can do. But we actually have all the data to show.
What all data? Pull it up. Where's your research? Why are you saying we have all the data to show? You don't have all of the data. You're not presenting any facts. You're just spouting jargon.
It's not something we've also got.
Don't both talk at the same time because it's even harder when we're on calls like this because you cut each other out. So let's say, Steve, your turn for the moment.
I think what I'm actually saying is that I think it is incredibly important to inspire and to enthuse our nation to live their life non-obese. What you're saying today is we should glorify it. Let's celebrate being fat. You know, I mean, if I came to you as a doctor, I reckon I'd walk out with a prescription that actually read, you know, say to yourself and sing to yourself, if you're happy and you're fat, clap your hands every day.
Natasha, I mean, you have already on social media, and this is part of a movement actually to do this, which is to censor the word obesity. And within the word obesity, you put an asterisk there, so you don't actually write the word. Why have you decided to do that?
Well, because what Steve is accusing me of is actually absolutely correct. I look at the evidence and it makes it very clear that you cannot tell whether a person is healthy just by weighing them and measuring their body mass index. There are lots of studies that show.
That is correct. That is correct. I weigh 130 pounds. I am anemic. I am prone to blood clots and blockages in my circulatory system. I am a smoker, and yeah, that is correct. But a person that is an adult over 30 years old and over 250 pounds at 5'6" is not going to be a very healthy individual. They're going to have body pains. They're going to have hard mornings. They're going to have more respiratory issues than an average sized person their age. And that is the fact.
In fact, there's one study that showed that 50% of people with a BMI of over 25 are actually healthy, and 30%.
Body mass index was invented during a time when food was a little bit scarcer in a nation of people that were slender to begin with by a doctor with questionable credentials. So citing that now in her favor after the fat positivity movement has been trying for ages and ages to not use the BMI system is it's counterproductive at best, and kind of, it's a little bit questionable. Her tactics are questionable. Why use it now in your own favor when you've been fighting against it for ages and ages?
Of people who have got a BMI under 25 are not healthy. And so actually what I do when I'm at work...
Not healthy, probably because they are older. Do they have addiction issues? How is their mental health? What do they do for a living? What is their past history? These are not facts that are presented in your statistics. Your statistics mean nothing.
Work is I never call people obese because I know how triggering that word is. I know
Obese, fat, large, rotund, corpulous, massive, giant, gargantuan.
that obesity, that word, has contributed to a lot of weight stigma, and what that's done is so dangerous in the medical profession.
Fat. The only thing that is dangerous in the medical profession is the obese person, because they don't want to help themselves and they are a drain on the medical system.
My colleagues are not giving obese patients the same treatment that they're giving to their thin patients.
However, Natasha, Steve...
Your colleagues. So who are your colleagues? And what are the circumstances? And why are your colleagues discriminating against people? Why are they not getting the same treatment? How is it that you're saying this? Who are you willing to throw under the bus, my dear Natasha Laramie?
Steve says being obese is the second largest killer to cancer.
That's not true at all. That's absolute nonsense. I've got the evidence to prove that is.
Show it. Show your evidence. Gimme all your paperwork, honey. Give me all the paperwork.
Absolutely untrue. He's just quoting false
Come out with
statistics.
that. You can't be putting that message out as a doctor. And also, can I say this? Can I say, no, you let me speak for a minute. The latest study from Harvard, if you want to go down the research and study route, has made it absolutely clear that you cannot be fat and healthy. And it is a disgrace, in my opinion, for any doctor to be shouting to the nation this morning, well, do you know what? If you're a bit poor, or if you're, I don't know, whatever, you're always going to be fat anyway. And actually, it doesn't really matter because you can be fat and really healthy.
It's really difficult, isn't it, for the individual, whether it be a child that's being introduced to this.
if you're poor, you're going to stay fat. Well, no, if you're uneducated, you're going to stay fat. We live in an information age. And if you have a cell phone or access to the internet, you can find anything you want to find and learn anything you want to learn. All you need is time.
In the curriculum, or an adult who's sitting watching this now, to know what is the right thing when you hear two people with such opposing views there? So what does someone do?
So what I'll say is that I don't have the time to explain all of the science here. If you come and actually look,
you don't have the time, or you don't want to, or you can't really. What is the answer?
on my website, www.fatdoctor.co.uk, or come and follow me on social media, you'll see that I quote plenty of studies. I give lots of evidence-based medicine. I am willing to stake my career on the fact that I believe that we need to stop telling people to lose weight. I absolutely believe that we should be encouraging. I'll say,
whether it be a child that's being introduced to this in the curriculum, or an adult who's sitting watching this now, to know what is the right thing when you hear two people with such opposing views there. So what does someone do?
So what I'll say is that I don't have the time to explain all of the science here. If you come and actually look on my website, www.fatdoctor.co.uk, or come and follow me on social media, you'll see that I quote plenty of studies. I give lots of evidence-based medicine. I am willing to stake my career on the fact that I believe that we need to stop telling people to lose weight.
She's willing to stake her career on on her belief that people need to stop telling others to lose weight.
I absolutely believe that we should be encouraging people to nourish themselves and to exercise, but not to lose weight.
To nourish themselves and exercise, but not to lose weight. If you nourish yourself properly and exercise the proper amount, and you don't eat garbage, and you don't eat processed poop, and you don't eat over 3,000 calories in a sitting, then you will lose weight, period. She is misrepresenting. And the fact that she is an obese adult speaks volumes about her eating habits.
To a heart attack, you're telling the nation that if they're obese, don't worry about it, even though we know that most people,
if you are over 300 pounds in your 30s, then you really should worry about it, because you're shortening your life. That is a fact. You should worry.
if you're obese, you're much more at risk of dying of COVID if you get it. And
that is also true. There is research supporting this, and the CDC and World Health Organization are also saying this now.
You're saying to the nation today, as a GP, then,
I'm not sure
don't
you
worry
two
about
are
it.
ever going to agree on this point, and we probably could discuss it till the end of the show. But listen, thank you both for being here this morning. Good to talk to you both. Thank you.
We obviously...
Oh, that was... Oof, okay, I guess that was my first reaction video. Oof. Maybe more to come, maybe not.